What sort of doctor looks after ears, noses and throats? An otorhinolaryngologist, of course. Hi, I'm Simon, and although my job might sound confusing, stick with me and I'll clear it up for you. Otorhinolaryngology is more commonly known as the study of the ear, nose and throat. This means I use modern technology and engineering to investigate these body parts and make sure they're in tip-top shape. We group the ear, nose and throat together, not just because they're close to each other, but because they're actually linked by a series of tubes and passageways, and air-filled cavities called sinuses. So let's take a closer look at what we can see inside the ear, nose and the throat. Let's start with the ears. For this, I use a gadget called a video otoscope, which has a powerful light and a camera on the end. I gently insert this into the ear so that I can see the eardrum. I'm looking to see if it's swollen or scarred and to make sure it moves and responds to sound. So with the video otoscope, we can not only see the outside of the ear, but in fact the whole of the eardrum, and in particular, the first bone of hearing called the malleus. So now let's have a look at the throat. As well as using a headlight, I can use this endoscope, which also has a light and a camera. This allows us to look at the back of the throat. For adult patients, we can also use a flexible spaghetti camera to look further down all the way to the larynx. The larynx is also known as the voice box, and this allows us to look at any lumps or bumps on the vocal cords. And when we look in the mouth, we can see the tongue, the dangly thing down the back of your throat called the uvula, and of course, the tonsils. So let's move on to the nose. Here, I'm looking to see if the septum, which is the middle part of the nose between the nostrils, is straight or if it's bent. I'm also looking at anatomical structures called the turbinates. These make the inside of your nose look a bit bumpy, but they actually help the air move up to the smell areas at the top of the nose. So with the endoscope, you can see the little hairs that protect your nose from dust and bugs flying in, the turbinates here which help you smell, and the nasal septum between the two sides of your nose. And of course, what we see a lot of, especially in kids' noses, is snot. It might seem icky or gross, but snot, or nasal mucus as we call it, is actually really important for your immune system. Because it's so slimy and sticky, it can trap dust and other tiny particles. It can also even kill bugs and bacteria that you breathe in. So whether you've got a problem with your ears, your nose or your throat, otorhinolaryngology has you covered.